pretty old siding, original in most or all places, ready for scrape and paint. You know, hasn't been really a lot of updating to the trim or the windows, and
be careful about lead paint.
exactly, yeah, lead paint. I'll have recommendations more about ventilation to the roof, upgrade if they do improvements to the windows, where to put flashing, things that we do on modern buildings that offer really long-term protection from water. So tops of windows, more ventilation to the roof and attic spaces. This is actually, of all the corners, this is kind of the one with the heaviest exposure to wear and tear. Yeah, oddly enough. So
Yeah, right where it's still.
southeast corner. So
Yeah, when I came up, it looked pretty bad. You said it was too bad.
the south gets it the most, obviously. So, Margaret, this would be a spot where, you know, if you have someone else, like, I'm going to recommend a contractor for a couple things.
Okay.
In the perfect world, the siding would extend beyond the foundation, just so that water can't pond right there and accumulate on the sill plate. And what, like Emily and those guys do, they'll just take a saw and just do a little bevel and allow water to drain off of that. And it wasn't, the places I could probe in there weren't rotten, but it'd be something that, you know, long term is probably a good thing to do. So
I think this, at least the side used to be covered with some other different siding. Did you see that?
This side?
I'm not sure about this side, but over by the back door.
That was an old meter base coming in, and then they're using that as a junction. I think you're right about that, Mark. This really could get a gutter, getting it as far away from the house as possible. There's no water in the crawl space, so they're lucky.
Any visibility or
No, I mean the dirt in
This is
there
concrete?
is dry. Yeah,
Concrete
this
house?
is concrete. So this is the crawl space. It kind of comes back to about midway, and then nothing really right here. So a lot of the concrete things are laid down. I think we could pull the rest of that down, and then we could put in some soffit panels to go up through the roof. Because when I pulled this down and looked, there's no cutout, so it's not really providing ventilation per se to the attic.
you got a new roof and pot and an old
Yeah.
roof?
So this is just half the roof. Who knows? Could use some more airflow. You know, compare it to the neighbors, which is newer roof. They've got 5. There's 3 here, and there's no intake. So that would be a component.
So when they did this side, they could put the more.
Put some more in, and then pull that vinyl off. Put some holes. There's not really any attic access, so that'd be something I'll recommend that they cut in on both sides of the living space.
So caulking around there.
Really needs to be sealed. Ideally, flashing. That's the bathroom window. You could. Yeah, but disproportionate to trim. One side to the other. Yeah, meters. So this would be their fan base on that. Providing and then gas is an oil tank. Probably right here, Margaret.
The oil
lines
tank,
are
yep.
right there.
Okay.
I'll show you in the basement where the
Yeah,
lines
and
are.
Xavier's coming out to look, make sure that there's just one. It's been decommissioned, and yeah.
Yeah, just get the gutters away. A little bit of lost some of our little radius trim there on the corner. You know, probably gutters overflowed, dry rot.
And they placed the roof.
Gutters are definitely ready to be cleaned up. And then the water meters out here at the street. And that'll be a main shot. I'll have a picture of that for them, of where that is. And then I believe another one in the basement. I want to confirm that.
There's another thing?
Yeah.
Like Portland Housing.
They do,
That makes
yeah.
no sense.
I know. Masonry is deteriorated, so recommendation would be to have a mason patch the chimney,
Okay.
finish the weather cap to it. Yeah, it's just starting to lose. It's actually fallen onto the roof. Little pieces of mortar, like the bottom, the top 4 courses, have the most wear and tear. So at this point, it's functioning as a shell for the furnace. Usually today, people will, when the furnace is ready to be replaced, put in an efficiency furnace, which can go out the wall, and then you can get rid of that chimney. But for now, it's still loose.
Still venting the furnace. Okay.
It shouldn't be a lot of work. I wouldn't spend a lot. I wouldn't make it perfect, you know, because down the road you get a new furnace, you don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the furnace and the water heater.
Okay. A garage door
Really
needs
would need
replaced.
A new door.
Okay, because it's
It's
rotted.
like a new building. The door looks ancient.
Yeah, that door is old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
a salvage door.
Or
I think it's
or
just
maybe
facing
they.
south, you know? It just got a
maybe.
lot of weather. Yeah.
Put a metal door in instead.
Exactly. Yeah, metal door, fiberglass, something, not wood. Gosh, it's a great garage. I love to have this garage. Oh my God. Pretty unusual for a house.
It is.
It's actually a 2-car garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The back side is really super weathered as far as the siding. That's the north side, and then the east side is right on the property line. So they'll want to do some
This
upper
is the
section.
back of the
Yeah.
garage.
Yeah.
We want to get that covered, the roof cleaned off, and water away.
So get siding on the back part of the roof or the back part of the garage and the roof cleaned off.
Pieces before they could really use that. The bake and the broil are functioning, but typically there's a cover over this,
Yeah.
and then you know
They're not the bottom door.
the racks. I didn't check the bottom. No, they're just the broiler pan. But it's a Maytag, you know. It's not really that old of an oven. I think probably can get pieces for
Is it vented?
It is not vented. So this is just a vent for the oven itself. This one, I have not been able to determine where that's going to. There's a small soffit kind of section here. It may be going up through the attic space, but I didn't find a termination for it.
Okay.
So
Maybe vent right into the attic then.
it might. And this needs to go back. We bumped it with some drawers here. So, there is heat in here. It's kind of in a funky place, right in the bottom corner there. Kind of shared. Heat's in the corner,
Oh,
shared
gotcha.
with the dining area. Heat. And the dishwasher. No disposal on this. The drop ceiling, there's probably a decent amount of space if you get rid of that drop ceiling.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna grab my light. I think I left it in the bag.
Grounded. Okay.
And I think a reverse polarity. So some typical electrical maintenance to the outlets. And the red dots are the ones that I found to be deficient.
Okay.
So those are around the house.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a mixture of old and new. There's some, you know, probably 10 years older, that's wiring.
So it's been wired?
And not completely, partially. There is still some older wiring in areas and some 2-prong outlets as well.
Just showing that.
So this corner has a little bit of a dip to it. So southwest corner of the living room. In the crawl space, there's no foundation cracks or anything, but there's some floor joists that have, typically the joist will run into the box header or the rim joist and touch it. And some of those joists have kind of, either they were never seated, but I think they may have backed out a little bit. And there's a little bit of a space. That'd be a section I'd want a contractor to go in there. Probably can't really force it back, but making a mechanical connection between the framing and the sill plate would be the next thing, just so it couldn't move.
Right.
And there is a little bit of a space between the sill plate and the foundation in this corner So I think probably some settlement to that corner.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any cracks like I am at the back, but you know, I feel it in the floor, and when I got underneath there, I could see it, and we can see it when we go down there. I'll show it to you. So not something I'm overly concerned about for a house that's 90 years old, but I'd want to at least have it looked at, and probably some hardware would be a good solution to that.
Just to prevent it from going.
Yeah, I mean, if you know.
You'll have to be able to take it back up.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not really worth doing even. So.
That was the same thing in the kitchen.
Confusing as far as the resets, so the safety outlets. So there is a reset here, but the main reset is in the basement bathroom. So if you don't have power in the bathroom, you need to go downstairs and reset that one, and then reset this one. So this one's redundant, essentially. So they didn't really need to put this one on there, so it just makes one more step. But there are safety outlets here. So. The toilet's definitely loose. We want to have that secured to the floor so it can't move around. And then a timer for the fan. The fan rattled initially when I started it up, and then after I ran it for a while, it just seemed to quiet itself down. So it's just going right out the wall. Okay. And then the floor, I don't like those strips. I think if it were me, I'd pull it up, make sure it's secured down, and a good bead of caulking. Just keep that sealed.
Any noticeable dry rot in there?
No, not underneath. Some of this is finished, so we can't get to it. There is a spot that potentially was an old drain leak. We'll look at that from the basement. I'm going to go up.
We're upstairs. Sure.
Okay. On both sides of the finished space up here, that would be attic space. So if it were me, I'd be cutting a spot on each side, getting in there, assessing the insulation, the wiring.
And you couldn't even get to it?
There's no access at this point. Yeah, this was the only access, and this is just this fluorescent light right here. And then that's it, and we're at the roof peak.
Okay.
So this is the very top. A little bit of wiring get contained better up there. And then this was, this actually sits in here. If I can restore it.
Skylight.
Skylight, exactly. There is heat up here, you know, so there's heat registers coming up on both ends. So and again, there's some space. There's some space back there that's not utilized or accessible. Same thing with the front here, you know, over the living room itself.
So this is some of the old wiring?
Yes.
All upstairs?
Anything two-prong is going to be old. But there are some grounded outlets, you know. I think there was one around the corner.
Oh, really?
Some over here in this office nook. So it's just been kind of a mixed bag.
Is this the where's the chimney?
Let's see, the chimney is going to be about here. I would say, yeah. So behind that, yeah, in the attic space.
Behind there?
I think probably behind that shelving for the chimney.
Then it goes near the stove.
Yeah. And then this is the front porch. And this would be, if you had to get out, you know, you could get on the roof here. A lot of windows need to be unstuck. Many of them are painted shut. So,
okay.
especially important for bedrooms and upper floor rooms. So. Okay, smoke detectors are all battery powered. We do need more carbon monoxide detectors in the house.
Okay.
Okay.
So by code is that?
So now we're back downstairs, the bedrooms.
Floor's okay here?
Yeah, I didn't really feel a lot of, you know, there's a
This
little
one bedroom.
dip right here, but this isn't really This red dot on the window, this window's out of the track.
Okay.
So that's what that red dot is. I'll have that listed
Okay.
in the report. And then old windows here, and then newer ones here.
Right.
And this is kind of the
cold area coming in?
no. This is the transition between the crawl space and the basement.
Oh, okay.
Right here. So this is that wall.
Okay. Okay.
Go downstairs.
bath. Am I going too fast, Margaret?
Nope.
Okay. Small second bath. Does have a fan. Does have heat even. Toilet, again, a little bit loose. I want that to be secured better. And then that's the primary safety outlet reset for the 2 bathrooms.
So a toilet this low, how's it, the sewer's lower than
The
this?
sewer is lower.
Really?
Yeah, so have you done the scope yet?
Nope.
Let me show you where it is. The cleanout's right here.
Okay, wow.
So, yep,
So
so
there's the
they
circle,
excavate
okay.
down, and sometimes, you know, it's 6 or 8 feet
Yeah.
into the city
Right.
away.
There's
So.
furnace.
And then this would be a good one, Margaret, just, actually, let me pull this off. There's a water shutoff valve in here,
Okay.
on a green handle. That would be one I think I would turn off and just make sure everything comes off.
Okay.
To verify that's the main shutoff. I just noticed another one in here that I want to pull on the wall, just to see if that was... So this is another shutoff. And this to me actually looks like the main.
Okay.
So I think the one behind the door is going to be for a hose faucet.
Okay.
But we want to definitely check it, and then it should be labeled too.
And give them access to it.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I guess you can, not a very big box.
Yeah.
So there's the floor drain where the carpet is, just at the bottom of the stairs. And then this would be the dryer vent here.
This is what we were talking about for the
Yeah.
tub upstairs?
Yeah, so
I believe you want that.
I think that this is the bottom
Tub?
of maybe a tub drain, right there, just at the bottom of the trap.
Yeah.
And it's not damp now, but I can't really see it very well from inside the crawl space. I think I would cut it away,
Yeah.
cut it out,
Cut it
and
and
just
patch
look.
it.
Just leave it open for a while.
And make sure that
See
it's
if
not.
anything shows up.
Right.
And then this is where the oil lines were, Margaret. Right there. So I think it's on that west side.
Right. Okay.
Crawl spaces needs the basics. A full cleanup. Get out all the scrap wood. This side really doesn't have any ventilation, so we need airflow.
Okay.
It needs a vapor barrier. The floor could be insulated. The floor joist for the heated room. There's a lot of electrical here that needs to be properly supported off the ground and stapled. And there's that one. Bigger crack right there. Again, I think it's been there a long time. No, it didn't really seal. No. You feel in the corner, yeah. So the crawl space goes kind of to the corner of the room with the electric panel, so not all the way to the back. So, pretty typical in some ways. Insulation, vapor barrier. And it's in the bottom. The furnace is from 2004. Worked fine today. It's good to have it serviced annually at 9 years of age. Water heater's in the corner. I'll give that a date when I get back to the office.
Is it gas?
It is gas. Yeah. I think that this room would benefit from having a louver in the door that would allow more airflow just to this room, because we have 2 fuel-burning appliances in a small space, and the air is not coming from the outside. Give it some more air. Pretty standard. And then this crawl space. Yeah, let me show you that. Let me, if you can, I can get out of the way. That's in the corner. And look for the red dot. So this joist right here,
Yeah.
it has about a 2-inch space between this component, which is called the rim joist.
Right, okay.
And typically the floor joists abut into that. So as we kind of as we go as we move towards the corner, it gets a little bit wider.
Yeah.
So and then there's a little space. Do you see my red dot now?
Yeah.
There's a space between the sill plate
Right. Is
and
that
the
rotted out?
foundation. It's not rotted out. I mean, this has shims in it,
Oh, that's what that is.
but I think there may have been
Oh, somebody.
just something slipped or some settlement in there.
Is that a crack in the foundation? No, that's just something. Well,
Yeah,
a little
no,
crack.
that's a
Yeah,
that's
but
a
next to it there's a little crack. I see.
yeah.
So somebody tried to shim it up. It looks like.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
A lot of new plumbing.
So the main's
This is
coming in.
PEX, huh?
Yeah, the main's coming in
Yeah.
from the meter at the front, and then that
And you don't know
it pops up
where's the main coming in?
right next to that vanity
Okay,
in the
okay.
bathroom. Yeah,
Right.
so it's
Is
coming
that
up
PEX
there.
coming in or is it copper?
It transitions to copper. I can't tell if it's galvanized or not.
Okay, so it goes something to copper to
something
PEX.
to copper to PEX.
Okay.
And I think if we cut a bigger hole, we could see below the valve.
Right.
We could tell if it was copper.
By the main element.
Exactly. Yeah, this is behind the door. This is copper. Probably a hose shut off. That's copper.
Yeah.
In the crawl space is copper and plastic, and right above that is copper.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure below it. It'd be great if it was copper.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So instead of having an old main line,
Right.
and I think we just get a bigger access there.
Yeah. We didn't notice why there was settling back in here, right? We couldn't really tell. There's a lot of settling down here.
So when I'm in this section of the crawl space, I can see, the sill plate kind of does a little bit of sloping right here. So I feel it in this portion of the kitchen,
Yep.
between the kitchen and kind of the dining room.
Oh, and you're seeing it on that extension. Is this the mudroom like?
This is that, this is that
And that's
bump
sunk
out.
down, yeah, you can't do much about that.
So,
So that same kind of bracing would be required here then? Did it
well,
go
this
away?
is actually what they call a pony wall, which is just a short 2x4 wall
Okay.
that then picks up the floor framing.
Oh, okay.
So probably some shims there,
Yeah.
it's probably done moving.
Yeah.
I think the main thing would just be eliminate earth to wood contact so we can't get any more bugs or dry rot. And yeah. But this room to me, I've signs and symptoms of water, sheetrock staining. I'm not really seeing that. I mean, most basements leak at some point in their life, but I don't have a sense that we have any strong
And it doesn't look like
water
it's new,
odor.
That's
And the carpets, the carpet's
Yeah.
in pretty good shape, so.
We got a slope here to drain.
Yeah, towards the,
Towards
I
the-
don't love a carpet on a basement
No, I
floor.
know.
I agree.
I mean, they
In
only
case you did have water damage.
last once, but.
But I don't notice any smell or anything.
No, it feels real dry.
Mm-hmm.
This is the electric panel in here. A little bit of more electrical just to get buttoned up here. I don't know what this was. If there was ever a water heater that they put in here and they moved it, but
That's weird.
yeah. Here's the main panel, the main shutoff for the
So we don't
whole
know
house.
if there's power to those or not.
Those were not. I don't believe that one was live.
No,
Yeah. So it's probably switched, but
that's 220 at one time.
still,
What is that? I think
I
it's a
put
hot
it in
water
a
heater.
box.
It's a hot water heater.
So yeah, to me it looks like hot water heater.
Take that line to the garage, would be great.
And the fact that they're repiped, with the
Right.
newer
Yeah.
material,
Right.
suggests to me that this
They
was
just
where the water
abandoned
heater
it.
was.
So,
And then this was, there's a breaker. They definitely had an electric hot water heater
Yeah.
at some point, and I turned that off. That's available, so this would be a good.
So if you turn that on, does that activate that one?
No, there's no wires to it.
Oh, okay. So
There's,
they
it's
did
not.
get
It's
that.
totally
But
disconnected.
that's probably what was driving.
I would guess that is what that is.
Yeah.
But I'd get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or put it
Box
in a
look
junction
pretty
box.
good?
The box looked fine. There's one breaker. The way they inserted these, I just can't really see this very closely, but we need an electrician out for some other basic maintenance.
Okay.
I'd want them just to shut this off and verify that it's number 12 wire
Okay.
on that.
So
Everything
it was
else looked
inspected in
fine.
2004.
So
they
04 was when the
They
panel came
upgraded
in.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so 100 amp service, typical for an older house.
Yeah.
But there is space, definitely get power to the garage, which I think I would want for sure. And
So
then
this was the crawl space, and they just did this.
this was a crawl space, so this is this is a section that was dug out, essentially, for the crawl space. So I think the original panel was outside, or in the hallway, and then this has some newer, this has a cinder block wall in the corner here. So,
Okay, so
this was pulled out later, yeah. And this is,
Yeah,
Yeah. Whew, it's hard to see.
a lot of fluorescence here.
So in the back downstairs
Yeah, I think it's just
bedroom,
These are outside.
which
oversized,
is covered.
oversized hose shut off.
Right. N Simpson.
Yeah,
Must have had like a rubber on there holding it up or something.
yeah, it could have been something they had before they finished it off, maybe.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.